Hi everyone, it's Dr. Katherine.Kelly, and good morning and happy spring. We actually have a sunny day for the first time. Our first day of spring is completely covered in snow, which is kind of interesting. I don't think North Carolina is used to snow in March. Anyway, wanted to talk to you again about showing up for the soul. And yesterday I tried to use Facebook Live. I think the cloud cover was preventing me. It just was not working. So I loaded a couple videos. The first one didn't look like it went through, but it did. So if you want to see part one of Standing Up for the Soul, go to my Facebook page and you'll be able to find it in my feed. Twice, actually, you'll be able to find it in my feed. But the whole point of standing up for the soul, boy, there's so much I want to talk about with this, and I'm going to try my best to talk quickly. But the thing is, the other day I was in a grocery store, saw a People magazine that had a title of "What Would You Stand Up For?" And I immediately thought, gosh, I would stand up for the soul. And why is that? Now, those of you who watch this video, watch me, read anything about me, you know that I'm all about the soul. And why is that? Now, for me, I think it is the most forgotten part of our existence. Ancient cultures used to live through their souls. They used to live through the soul of the earth, through the soul of the cosmos, but we have really forgotten our souls, which is why we are so misaligned. And so, I'm doing this video as part two to really emphasize that need to start thinking about that gut reaction, that soul voice that is trying to get your attention. And why is it that you ignore it? Why is it that you dismiss it instead of following through? Because whenever we follow through, everything flows really well. We can all recall times when we went against a gut instinct and life really got derailed or fell apart. And that's where regret comes in. But think about that. Why is it that we don't tune in? Why is it that we don't stand up for our souls? Which means if we don't stand up for our souls, we're not standing up for ourselves. We are not aligning with our truth. We are, as my subtitle of the book says, we are not aligning for radiant living. So why is that? And I want you to think about what derails you. What is it in your life that gets you off your mark? Is it the people in your life? Is it the environment you work in or live in? Is it your past? Is it old wounds that are getting in the way? But I want you to think about what is it that keeps you from standing up for your soul? Because whatever it is that makes you ignore your soul is what makes you ignore you. Because, in my book, I talk about the soul being the essence of who we are. It's a very simple definition. But if the essence of who we are is being ignored, which to me is the soul, we're not going to live the lives we really want. We are not going to get where we say we want to be. And we're going to constantly live in regret. We're going to constantly look back and go, gosh, I wish I would have done that differently, or I wish I would have said that differently, or whatever it might be. So why is it? I just want to really plant that question in your mind. Why is it that you don't stand up for your own soul? So I guess it was 5 weeks ago now. I went to this little discussion thing that happens at one of the bars here, and it's called A Priest and a Rabbi. And every month on the third Thursday of the month, a priest and a rabbi from the community come together and they do a talk at this bar. And it's actually quite fun to watch these two, because their demeanors are very different, but really they come together to try to help bring people together as well. And I'm meeting with the rabbi today. I had emailed him and asked if he would be willing to talk a little bit about the soul, and he accepted, so I'm going to go meet with him today. But why is it that I want to do that? And really, I want to ask, how often does he use the word soul as he speaks to his congregation? And the reason I want to ask that to him is that he actually said during this discussion 5 weeks ago, he actually used the word soul. And my ears perked up, because I never hear anybody use the word. I shouldn't say never. My clients all use it. People around me use the word soul. But when it comes to a minister or a rabbi or a priest, you'll rarely hear someone use the word soul. And I want to know why that is. And way back, this is probably 5 or 6 years ago, I was doing a workshop over in Asheville. It was for healthcare providers, and it was an all-day workshop. And I noticed a man kind of struggling with something during the activity that I gave them. And I walked over to him and I said, I'm looking at, what's happening for you, and it looks like you're kind of having some questions. Can I help? And he sits back and he says, I'm trying to figure out what gives you the right to talk about the soul. And I really was taken aback, and I said, well, I didn't know that anybody was exempt from talking about the soul. And it was very fascinating. That was poignant for me. That experience showed me people don't understand that we all have souls. We're just this human thing that's walking around. So why is it that we are ignoring it? Why is it that we are not allowing ourselves to embrace the essence of who we are? Because and this was a professional, this was I think he was a master's level therapist. If this was a professional who was trying to figure out how another professional could be using the word soul, that tells me a lot about our mindset. And it actually kind of scares me, because if you think about everything that's going on in the world right now, if you think about all of these shootings, all of the devastation, all of this, for lack of a better word, bullying, governmental bullying that's going on right now, all it is showing me that people are really misaligned from their souls. So if we don't start standing up for our own souls, if we don't start really getting in our truth, where is this world going to be in the next year, 5 years, 10 years, whatever? We have got to start using the word soul again. So when I say I want to make the soul mainstream, that's what I want to do. I want to help people realize that is what is missing from really all of our existence. If we don't start recognizing, if we don't start using that word soul, if we don't really get back in connection with ourselves, our world is going to crumble. You know, it already looks like it is, but and it may sound very dramatic, but I really do believe that if we don't get in touch with our souls, we're going down. And, you know, like I said, any ancient culture was very in touch with their souls, but look what modernization is doing to us. I could use this whole Facebook thing that's happening right now. That, you know, they're having a lot of problems up at Facebook because of lots of the scandals that are going on. Again, I think they are misaligned. I think a lot of the administrators are misaligned for their purposes, for their integrity, for they want to make money, but what does that do to misalign us? So what is it that misaligns you? What is it that makes you ignore or dismiss your own soul? If you think about every single thing that you struggle with, it's probably because you don't tune into what you really need or what you need to do or say to someone. Think about that. My guess is that is very true. So why is it that we don't stand up for our souls? Why is it that we don't recognize that inner part of us that is screaming to get our attention so that it can align our lives and really get us going in the direction that we're supposed to be? So think about this. I would love to hear your comments. I think that this is such an important topic, and I am not going to stop putting this one out there, because I think that is now really more and more of my awareness of what my mission is to get the word soul back into our vocabulary in a way that we live it. That, you know, I do a workshop. I haven't done it for a while, but I'm going to be offering this again, as living through the soul. What does that mean for people? Well, first of all, it means getting in touch with it and not dismissing it, which, you know, I've been guilty of in the past, but I learned in hard ways not to do that. So my mission is to help you all learn how to live through that soul, how to not dismiss it, and how to stand up for it. So again, I would love your comments. Hope you have a wonderful day. Also want to announce, I'm really excited about this. I found out almost for sure that my book, my second edition of Soul Health, is going to be released right around the 14th of April. So you'll be hearing more and more about this. I'm really excited about it because there's a whole new element of love consciousness that I have introduced into the book. And it deepened everything for me as I understood it, and I'm going to deepen it for you as time goes on too. So have a wonderful Thursday or days beyond, and I will talk to you again soon. Go to my website at www.Dr.KatherineT.Kelly.com for more information. And if you're not on my email list, you can go to that website and add yourself, because, like I said, there's going to be a lot more coming up. Once I get this book sent off in the next couple days for sure, and once I've got this big training thing I'm going through right now, but if we can come together and help promote the soul, that's going to be the big thing. So get your name on the list, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.